Hello, friend, and welcome to Night Whisper Science. I am Neil Tyson, and tonight it is my honor to be your guide on a journey. It is a journey not to a distant star or a swirling galaxy, but to a world just as profound, just as cosmic, right here on our own beautiful planet. We are going to follow the quiet, graceful story of a single falling leaf. Now, you might think of this as an ending, a final goodbye to the warmth of summer. But the universe doesn't really do endings. It prefers transformations. It delights in cycles. The atoms that make up you and me and the stars themselves have been on an immense journey, endlessly recycled through nebulas and suns, planets and oceans, and yes, through the delicate architecture of a leaf. So, as you settle in, as you allow your body to grow heavy and your mind to quiet, let's adjust our perspective. Let's see this small event not as a loss, but as a transfer of energy, a continuation of a story that began billions of years ago. Tonight, we will uncover 100 quiet truths about this journey, this gentle descent. Each fact a soft step deeper into understanding and deeper into rest. Let the world outside fade away. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. There is only this moment, and the silent, wonderful story of a leaf letting go. Let your breath be slow and steady, a quiet rhythm in the vastness of the cosmos, as we begin. Our story begins not with a sudden gust of wind, but with a silent cosmic signal. This is our first fact. The journey of a falling leaf begins with the gentle tilt of our planet. As the Earth continues its grand elliptical orbit around the Sun, the hemisphere we call home begins to lean away from that life-giving star. It is a subtle shift in posture, a planetary curtsy to the changing seasons, but for the life on its surface, it changes everything. And so we come to our second truth. The tree does not perceive this tilt directly. Instead, it perceives the consequence, the slow, steady shortening of the day. This phenomenon, the response of a living organism to the length of the day or night, is known as photoperiodism. It is the tree's celestial clock, a reliable calendar written in the language of light and shadow, far more dependable than the unpredictable fluctuations of daily temperature. Which leads to our third discovery. Trees are exquisitely sensitive astronomers. Embedded within their cells, and especially their leaves, are special proteins that act as light detectors. These photoreceptors, with names like phytochromes and cryptochromes, are the tree's eyes to the cosmos. They can sense the quality and quantity of sunlight, measuring the precise duration of the daylight. As the sun's arc across the sky becomes lower and shorter, these molecular sentinels register the change, noting the growing length of the unbroken night. This brings us to our fourth fact, a piece of quiet wisdom from the forest. The tree trusts the light. While a sudden cold snap in late summer might feel like autumn, the tree knows better. Temperature can be fleeting, a temporary messenger. But the slow, predictable shortening of the days is an unmistakable truth, a signal that cannot be forged. It is the universe telling the tree that the time for rest is approaching, and it is time to prepare. In response to this cosmic message, a silent, internal conversation begins within the tree. And this is our fifth truth. It is a conversation spoken in the language of hormones. All through the vibrant summer, a hormone called auxin has been flowing from the leaves down through the branches. Auxin is the hormone of connection, the chemical message that says, hold on, stay, grow. But as the days shorten, the leaf's production of auxin begins to wane. The signal to hold on grows fainter and fainter, like a distant fading star. As the voice of auxin quiets, our sixth fact unfolds. the tree begins to prepare for a gentle separation. At the very base of the leaf stem, where it connects to the twig, a special zone of cells begins to change. This area is called the abscission layer. All summer long it was a strong, seamless bridge, but now it is preparing to become a place of release. It is a marvel of biological engineering, a pre-programmed parting line designed for a clean and harmless farewell. This is where our seventh truth emerges, with the introduction of a new chemical messenger. As auxin levels fall, the leaf tissues become incredibly sensitive to another hormone, a simple gas called ethylene. You might know ethylene as the gas that ripens fruit, but in this story, it carries a different message. It is the gentle whisper of let go. While auxin was the anchor, ethylene is the signal for release, its presence now amplified in the absence of its counterpart. And so, our eighth fact comes to pass. The ethylene gas permeates the cells of the newly formed abscission layer, delivering its instructions. It tells these cells to begin producing specific enzymes, remarkable little proteins that act like molecular scissors. This is not a process of decay or damage. It is a carefully controlled, highly precise cellular event orchestrated by the tree with profound efficiency. Which reveals our ninth truth. The falling of a leaf is not a moment of weakness or failure. It is a planned and deliberate act of self-preservation. By shedding its leaves, the tree conserves precious water and energy for the long, cold winter ahead. It is a strategic retreat, a shedding of responsibility, ensuring the survival of the whole. The tree is not losing a part of itself. It is preparing for its own deep slumber, its own period of quiet renewal. For the remainder of our journey tonight, let us focus our attention on one particular traveler. This is our 10th fact, an introduction to our guide. It is a single leaf, high on the branch of a sugar maple. It has 5 distinct lobes, a network of delicate veins, and at this moment, it is a canvas of breathtaking transformation. The dominant green of summer is beginning to recede, giving way to a blush of deep, resonant crimson along its edges. It hangs there, in the soft, golden light of a late afternoon, waiting patiently for the next phase of its incredible story. It feels the quiet hum of the tree's inner world shifting, and it is ready. And as our maple leaf waits, a spectacular change is sweeping over it, a change visible from across a field or even from space. Our 11th truth is about the color of summer. That lush, vibrant green is the color of a molecule named chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the engine of life on Earth, a tiny solar panel that captures the sun's energy and uses it to build sugars from water and carbon dioxide. It is so abundant during the growing season that it completely masks any other colors within the leaf. But here is a quiet secret, our 12th fact. Chlorophyll is a fragile molecule. Under the bright summer sun, it is constantly breaking down. To maintain its green appearance, the leaf must continuously produce more, a constant investment of energy. But now, as the days shorten and the signal to prepare for winter arrives, the leaf stops making new chlorophyll. The production lines shut down. And with this, our 13th truth is unmasked. As the last of the green chlorophyll fades away, the pigments that were there all along are finally allowed to shine. It is a grand reveal. Hidden beneath the green were the carotenoids, the same family of pigments that give carrots their color. These reveal themselves as brilliant oranges. Alongside them are the xanthophylls, responsible for soft, buttery yellows, the color of autumn sunlight itself. The leaf is not acquiring these colors, it is simply revealing its true underlying palette. This unmasking leads us to our 14th fact. These yellow and orange pigments are not just for show. Throughout the summer, they served a vital role as accessory pigments. They helped capture wavelengths of light that chlorophyll couldn't, broadening the spectrum of energy the leaf could use. Even more importantly, they acted as a form of sunscreen, protecting the delicate cellular machinery from damage by excessive sunlight, a process known as photooxidation. They were the silent guardians, and now they have their moment of glory. But what about the deep crimsons and purples, like the ones beginning to blush on our maple leaf? This is where our 15th truth gets particularly beautiful. These red pigments, called anthocyanins, are different. Unlike the yellows and oranges, they are not present in the leaf all summer. They are newly created in the autumn in a final, brilliant act of chemistry. Our 16th fact explains how this happens. As the abscission layer slowly forms at the base of the leaf stem, it acts like a gentle dam. It slows the exit of the sugars that the leaf produced during its last days of photosynthesis. These sugars become concentrated in the leaf sap. It is this combination of trapped sugar and bright, cool autumn sunlight that triggers the production of anthocyanins. The very sweetness of the leaf is transformed into color. This explains a piece of autumn poetry, our 17th fact. The most vibrant red displays occur on days that are cool and crisp, but also brilliantly sunny. The cool temperatures slow the work of the enzymes that would otherwise break down the sugars, while the bright sun provides the energy needed to convert those trapped sugars into the stunning red and purple anthocyanin pigments. A string of overcast, rainy days, by contrast, will often lead to a more muted yellow and brown autumn. While this beautiful transformation is happening, the tree is engaged in an act of profound efficiency. Our 18th fact is that the tree is a master of recycling. Before it lets the leaf go, it begins to reclaim valuable resources. It carefully dismantles useful molecules within the leaf and draws the components back into the twigs and branches for storage over the winter. The most important of these resources, which brings us to our 19th truth, is nitrogen. Nitrogen is a crucial building block for proteins and DNA, and it is often in short supply in the soil. So the tree salvages as much as it can from its dying leaves. It also reclaims other vital nutrients like phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. It is as if the tree is packing away its most valuable tools for the winter, ensuring they will be ready for the burst of new growth in the spring. This process is called nutrient resorption, and a healthy tree can reclaim more than half of the nitrogen from each leaf before it falls. And so we arrive at our 20th fact, a new perspective on our crimson-tipped maple leaf. It is not dying, it is giving back. It has spent the summer creating energy for the tree. Now, in its final days, it puts on a spectacular display of color while dutifully returning its most precious elements to the organism that created it. It is an act of generosity, a final gift before the journey of its descent truly begins. Its connection to the branch is now more tenuous than ever before, a relationship redefined by chemistry and light, awaiting only a final physical cue to let go. The colors have peaked. The nutrients have been reclaimed. Our crimson maple leaf now hangs in a state of delicate suspension, poised between the branch and the air. And this brings us to our 21st truth. The final separation is a mechanical process, the gentle completion of the journey started weeks ago by a signal from the sun. The abscission layer at the base of the leaf stem, or petiole, is now ready to fulfill its purpose. Within that special layer, our 22nd fact unfolds at a microscopic level. The enzymes that were activated by the hormone ethylene have been patiently at work. These enzymes, with names like cellulase and pectinase, are molecular deconstructors. They have been slowly dissolving the pectin, the sticky substance that acts as a glue holding the cell walls together. They have also been weakening the cellulose walls themselves, thinning the connection point from the inside out. Imagine, if you will, a wall built of bricks and mortar. These enzymes have not shattered the bricks, but have gently dissolved the mortar between them. This is our 23rd truth. The separation is not a violent break. It is a controlled dissolution. The cells themselves remain intact, but the bonds that connect them to each other and to the twig have been patiently and systematically erased, leaving only the most fragile of connections remaining. Now, the leaf is held in place by only a few thin vascular strands. These are the tiny tubes, the xylem and phloem, that once carried water up to the leaf and sugars back to the tree. They are the final thread-like tethers. And this is our 24th fact. At this point, the slightest force is all that is needed to complete the separation. This force can come from many places. It could be the gentle, persistent pressure of a breeze, as our 25th truth tells us. A soft gust of wind that would have made the leaf dance a week ago now provides enough push to sever those last few strands. The wind doesn't tear the leaf away, it simply nudges it past the tipping point of its connection. Or, as our 26th fact explains, the force could be the weight of a single raindrop. A cool autumn shower begins to fall, and a drop of water, heavy and full, lands on the surface of our maple leaf. That small added mass, that tiny transfer of momentum, is enough. The final threads give way, and the journey begins. Sometimes, as our 27th truth reveals, no external force is needed at all. The process of separation becomes so complete that the leaf's own minuscule weight is the final catalyst. In the perfect stillness of a windless day, the leaf simply lets go, its own mass providing the final gentle tug that sets it free. It is a quiet surrender to the pull of the earth. The moment this separation occurs, we witness a fundamental principle of physics, our 28th fact, the conversion of energy. While attached to the branch, suspended high above the ground, the leaf possessed potential energy. It was energy stored by virtue of its position in a gravitational field. The instant it detaches, that stored potential energy begins to transform into kinetic energy, the energy of motion. The fall is the physical expression of this energy conversion. And as the leaf separates, the tree is not wounded. This is a deeply reassuring truth, our 29th fact. The side of the abscission layer that remains on the twig has been preparing for this moment. The cells here have become infused with a waxy, waterproof substance called suberin. They form a protective layer, a neat and tidy leaf scar that seals the tiny opening almost instantly. This scar prevents the tree from losing water and protects it from disease, like a perfectly healed wound. So for our 30th and final fact tonight, picture our maple leaf. A gentle breeze whispers through the canopy. The last vascular threads release their hold with a softness that makes no sound. There is no snap, no tear, only a quiet parting. The leaf is suddenly free. For a split second, it is suspended in the air, weightless and unburdened. The transfer of energy has begun. The intricate dance with gravity and air is about to commence. And as you feel yourself drifting, suspended in that quiet space between wakefulness and sleep, allow yourself to feel that same sense of gentle release. Letting go, drifting, floating peacefully into the calm and quiet air. Our crimson maple leaf is now airborne, embarking on the next stage of its grand journey. And as it begins its descent, it enters into a beautiful, unspoken dialogue with the air around it. This is our 31st fact. The fall is not a simple plummet. It is a complex dance between two fundamental forces, the constant downward pull of gravity and the upward opposing force of air resistance. Gravity, as our 32nd truth reminds us, is the universal force of attraction. It pulls the leaf toward the center of the earth with a gentle, unwavering insistence. If the leaf were falling in a vacuum, on the surface of the moon for instance, it would accelerate downward at a steady rate, its path straight and predictable. But our leaf is not in a vacuum. It is enveloped in our planet's rich, gaseous atmosphere. And this atmosphere provides the partner in our dance. Our 33rd fact is that air, though it seems invisible and empty, is made of countless molecules. As the leaf falls, it collides with billions upon billions of these tiny nitrogen, oxygen, and argon molecules. Each collision, however small, imparts a tiny upward push. The sum of all these pushes is the force we call air resistance, or drag. Now, the shape of our maple leaf becomes critically important. This is our 34th truth. The leaf is not a compact, dense sphere. It is broad, flat, and has a very large surface area relative to its minuscule mass. This design is perfect for catching the light during the summer, and as it turns out, it is also perfect for catching the air during its fall. Its wide open form maximizes the number of air molecules it can interact with, dramatically increasing the upward force of drag. This interplay between gravity and drag choreographs the leaf's unique motion. Our 35th fact is that the leaf rarely falls in a straight line. As it drifts downward, subtle imbalances in its shape and the shifting currents of air create uneven pressure. Air moving faster over the curved upper surface of the leaf creates lower pressure, while the slower moving air underneath creates higher pressure. This difference generates a gentle upward force called lift, the same principle that allows an airplane wing to fly. This lift causes the leaf to tilt, to rock, to gently swerve from side to side. This tilting and swerving often leads to a mesmerizing cyclical motion. This is our 36th truth. Many leaves, especially those from maple or sycamore trees, begin to auto-rotate. They spin like a helicopter's rotor blade, a motion we call gyration. This spinning further stabilizes the descent, keeping the leaf's broad surface perpendicular to the direction of the fall, which maximizes air resistance and slows the journey even more. It becomes a small organic parachute, engineering its own graceful spiraling path to the ground. Because of this high drag and low mass, our 37th fact comes into play. The leaf reaches its terminal velocity very, very quickly. Terminal velocity is the point at which the upward force of air resistance perfectly balances the downward pull of gravity. At this point, the leaf stops accelerating and continues to fall at a constant, gentle speed. For a dense object like a stone, terminal velocity is very high, but for our leaf, it is incredibly low, perhaps only 1 or 2 miles per hour. It reaches this peaceful, steady state of descent almost immediately after letting go. Not all leaves fall in the same way, which is our 38th truth. The specific flight path is a unique signature of the leaf species and its individual structure. A long, thin willow leaf might slice through the air with a gentle flutter. A heavy, broad oak leaf might tumble and rock more erratically. A small, round aspen leaf might tremble and drift. Each one is an aerodynamicist, its shape dictating the specific steps of its final dance. Think of the leaf, then, as a glider. This is our 39th fact. It is not passively surrendering to gravity, but actively using the principles of fluid dynamics to make its journey as long and slow as possible. It is navigating the invisible medium of the air, turning a simple fall into a prolonged and elegant flight. The shape that was designed to capture sunlight now serves to capture the air, a beautiful repurposing of form and function. And so, for our 40th fact, let us rejoin our crimson maple leaf. It is spinning now, in a slow, hypnotic spiral. The world turns gently around it. A view of the blue sky, then the dark trunk of its parent tree, then the mosaic of the forest floor, then the sky again. The sound of its movement is just a soft whisper, the barest of sighs as its edges cut through the air. It is not falling so much as it is floating, held in a perfect equilibrium between the pull of the planet and the breath of the atmosphere. It is a moment of serene, suspended grace, a quiet ballet in the autumn air. The leaf's journey, however, is not just a straight line down, even a spiraling one. It has now entered an unseen world of atmospheric motion. Our 41st truth is that the air in a forest is not still. It is a flowing, invisible river, full of currents, eddies, and waves. Our leaf has just become a passenger on this river. The slightest breeze, which may be imperceptible on the ground, can have a profound effect on our leaf's path. This is our 42nd fact. As the wind moves through the forest canopy, it is forced to navigate around trunks and branches, creating a complex tapestry of airflows. Our leaf, with its large surface and low weight, is exquisitely sensitive to these flows. A gentle current can pick it up and carry it sideways, extending its journey far beyond the shadow of its parent tree. Another force at play is the warmth of the earth. Our 43rd truth relates to thermals. On a sunny autumn day, the ground absorbs sunlight and warms the air directly above it. This warmer air, being less dense, begins to rise in a gentle, invisible column. If our leaf drifts into one of these thermals, its descent can be paused or even reversed for a moment. It can be lifted gently upward, rising on a cushion of warm air, seeing the forest from a new perspective before drifting out of the thermal to continue its downward journey. This is why, as our 44th fact reveals, the journey of a single leaf is beautifully unpredictable. Its final resting place is not predetermined. It is a result of 1,000 tiny interactions with the atmosphere. It is a story of chaos, in the most beautiful sense of the word, where a tiny change in a starting condition, a slightly different gust of wind, a slightly warmer patch of ground, can lead to a vastly different outcome. This aerial journey serves a vital ecological purpose. Our 45th fact is that this is a mechanism for dispersal. By being carried on the wind, the leaf distributes its organic matter over a wider area. It ensures that the nutrients it contains are not just deposited in a concentrated pile at the base of the tree, but are shared more broadly across the forest floor, enriching a larger patch of soil. And our 46th truth is that this movement is a small-scale reflection of much larger planetary patterns. The same forces of uneven heating and planetary rotation that create the jet stream and global wind patterns are at play here in miniature. The little eddy that spins our leaf is a tiny cousin to the vast cyclonic storm systems that swirl across continents. The journey of the leaf is a lesson in the fractal nature of our atmosphere, where the same physical laws govern the grand and the small. The distance a leaf can travel is remarkable. This is our 47th fact. While most leaves land within a few dozen feet of their parent tree, some can become caught in stronger winds and travel for miles. They can be lifted high above the canopy and join the more powerful unimpeded air currents, becoming true long-distance travelers, carrying their small store of carbon and nutrients to an entirely new ecosystem. The structure of the forest shapes this journey. Our 48th fact is that the edge of a forest is a very different aerodynamic environment from its deep interior. At the forest edge, wind patterns are more turbulent and strong, often creating updrafts that can carry leaves high into the air. Deep within the woods, the air is often much calmer, more still, leading to a gentler, more direct descent. The leaf's path is dictated by its neighborhood. Imagine our leaf now as our 49th fact. It has been caught in a gentle but persistent current of air that is flowing through a gap in the canopy. It is no longer descending directly below its branch, but is now sailing, drifting horizontally across a clearing. It moves with a gentle, rocking motion, like a small crimson boat on an invisible sea. It is an explorer, charting a course it has never taken before, its destination unknown. And this brings us to our 50th truth, a moment of perspective. From our point of view on the ground, we see a leaf falling. But from the perspective of the leaf, it is the world that is moving. The ground is rising up to meet it. The trees are drifting past. It is suspended in its own serene reference frame, a quiet traveler carried along by forces it cannot see, but to which it has completely surrendered. And in that surrender, there is a profound peace. Feel that peace now, the feeling of being carried, of letting go of the need to steer, and simply trusting the journey, as you drift deeper and deeper into rest. As our maple leaf continues its silent, drifting flight, it is important to remember a profound and beautiful truth, which is our 51st fact. The leaf is not traveling alone. Its surface, which appears so smooth and clean to our eyes, is in fact a thriving, bustling, microscopic world. This miniature ecosystem living on the surface of a leaf is known to scientists as the phyllosphere. And so, our 52nd truth is that this journey is not a solitary one. It is a migration. The leaf is acting as a temporary vessel, a small organic ark carrying a diverse community of microscopic passengers to a new home. This community is vast and varied, a hidden dimension of life that has been living on the leaf since it first unfurled in the spring. Among these passengers, as our 53rd fact tells us, are billions of bacteria. Dozens of different species have formed complex communities called biofilms on the leaf surface. They are adapted to a life of extremes, withstanding the intense ultraviolet radiation of the sun, the drying power of the wind, and the deluge of rain. Now they are silent partners on this aerial voyage. Alongside the bacteria are the fungi, our 54th fact. Microscopic yeasts and molds have also made their home here. Some may have been passive residents, while others, like certain mildews, may have been interacting more directly with the leaf cells. Now they too are airborne, their tiny spores ready to colonize the new environment where the leaf will eventually land. Perhaps the most remarkable of these microscopic travelers are the tardigrades. This is our 55th fact. These tiny, eight-legged creatures, often called water bears, are some of the most resilient animals known to science. They can survive in the vacuum of space, withstand extreme temperatures, and endure intense radiation. They often live in the thin film of moisture on leaves and moss. As our leaf begins to fall, any tardigrades living upon it are simply along for the ride, encased in their protective dormant state, waiting to be reawakened by a drop of water in their new home. Our 56th fact is that the leaf is a vessel for genetic dispersal. As it travels on the wind, it is carrying the DNA of all these microscopic organisms with it. This allows for genetic mixing between different populations on the forest floor, promoting diversity and resilience. The falling leaf is an agent of connection, weaving together the microbial landscapes of the forest. This airborne ecosystem is a field of active scientific discovery, which is our 57th truth. Scientists are still learning about the incredible diversity of life in the phyllosphere and the vital roles these tiny organisms play in the health of the forest. They can influence how a leaf decomposes, protect it from more harmful pathogens, and even affect the formation of raindrops in the atmosphere. The journey of these tiny passengers is a testament to the tenacity of life. Our 58th fact is that life finds a way to move, to disperse, to colonize. It uses every available vehicle, from the fur of a wandering animal to the gentle downward drift of a single autumn leaf. The entire forest is in constant, subtle motion, a slow but relentless migration of matter and life. As our maple leaf spins, imagine this invisible world it carries. This is our 59th fact. It is a bustling microcosm, a silent city of life, all clinging to the crimson surface as it glides through the cool autumn air. The dramas of this tiny world, the competition for resources, the struggle against the elements, are all now suspended, unified in this shared journey toward the forest floor. The leaf is not just a piece of a tree. It is a temporary, mobile habitat, a world unto itself. And so, our 60th fact is one of interconnectedness. The journey of the leaf is simultaneously the journey of billions of other smaller lives. Its story is their story. Its landing will be their arrival. Its transformation will become their new beginning. There is no such thing as a solitary journey in the universe. Everything is connected, everything is carried, everything is part of a larger, more intricate dance. As you feel yourself being gently carried towards sleep, know that you are part of this grand, interconnected web of existence, safe and secure in your own quiet journey tonight. As our crimson leaf and its microscopic crew continue their descent, they contribute to another, more subtle aspect of the autumn forest, its unique soundscape. Our 61st fact is that a single falling leaf creates a sound, though it is often too quiet for our ears to notice unless the world is profoundly still. It is a soft, slicing whisper, a gentle shh as its surface creates tiny turbulences in the air. It is the sound of friction on a delicate scale. When this sound is multiplied by millions, it becomes one of the defining sounds of the season. Our 62nd truth is that the collective rustle of falling leaves in a light breeze is a forest symphony. It is the sound of a million tiny gliders descending at once, each contributing its own small whisper to a chorus that is at once vast and incredibly gentle. It is the sound of letting go on a grand scale. Once the leaf arrives on the ground and begins to dry, its acoustic properties change dramatically. This is our 63rd fact. The cells of the leaf, having lost their moisture, become brittle and rigid. The complex polymers that make up the cell walls, like cellulose and lignin, become stiff. This turns the leaf from a soft, pliable object into a crisp, resonant one. And this is why, as our 64th truth explains, dry autumn leaves create such a satisfying crunch underfoot. When you step on a dry leaf, you are causing thousands of these tiny, brittle cell walls to fracture at once. The rapid release of energy from these fractures creates a complex sound wave with a very broad range of high frequencies. Our brains interpret this specific sound signature as a crunch. The sound is also amplified by the structure of the leaf itself. Our 65th fact is that the curved, wrinkled shape of a dry leaf acts like a miniature natural megaphone. As the cell walls break, the leaf's shape helps to project the sound outward, making the crunch seem louder and more distinct than you might expect from such a small, lightweight object. Together, the leaves on the forest floor form a completely new acoustic environment. This is our 66th fact. A deep layer of fallen leaves, known as leaf litter, is an incredibly effective sound absorber. The complex, irregular layering of the leaves, with countless tiny air pockets trapped between them, is perfect for trapping and dampening sound waves. This leads us to a peaceful 67th truth. A forest in late autumn is often quieter than a forest in summer. The thick carpet of leaves on the ground muffles the sounds of footsteps, whether from a wandering deer or a hiking human. It absorbs the echoes that would normally bounce off the hard-packed earth, creating a soft, hushed ambiance. It is as if the forest has pulled a thick, soft blanket over itself for its winter sleep. The sound of wind moving through a leafless forest is also different. Our 68th fact is that in the summer, the wind rustles and murmurs through the soft, broad leaves, but in the late autumn, the wind whistles and moans through the bare branches. The sound is clearer, sharper, more mournful, because there are no leaves to soften and complicated sound waves. The forest's voice changes with the seasons. Even the rain sounds different. Our 69th fact is that a summer shower patters and drums on the broad canopy of leaves overhead, but an autumn rain falls with a softer, more percussive sound on the carpet of fallen leaves below. It is a gentle tapping, a hushed and rhythmic sound that speaks of moisture returning to the earth. So, for our 70th fact, let us listen, just for a moment, to this forest symphony. Imagine the soft whisper of our single leaf as it spirals down. Hear the collective rustle of its siblings still falling through the branches. And listen to the deep, profound quiet of the forest floor, a silence created by the very leaves that have already completed their journey. It is a world of sound and silence, of crunch and hush, all orchestrated by the simple, beautiful process of a leaf returning to the earth. Allow these gentle sounds to be your guide as you drift further down into a place of deep and peaceful stillness. The slow, spiraling dance is nearing its end. Our crimson maple leaf, after its long and graceful flight, is approaching the forest floor. And this brings us to our 71st fact. In the last few feet of its journey, the air grows still. Protected by the surrounding trees, sheltered from the winds that flow above the canopy, this is a zone of profound calm. The leaf's rotation slows, its forward drift ceases, and its final moments of descent are almost perfectly vertical. Its journey through the air concludes not with an impact, but with a gentle arrival. This is our 72nd truth. The leaf lands with a soft, dry whisper, a sound barely audible. It does not touch bare earth. Instead, it settles upon a deep, plush blanket made of its predecessors, the leaves from last week, last year, and a decade ago. Its flight is over, and it has come to rest, joining a vast and quiet community. This community, our 73rd fact reveals, is known as the leaf litter. To ecologists, it is often called duff, or more formally, the O horizon, for organic. It is far more than just a pile of dead leaves. It is a complex, structured, and vibrant layer that is as essential to the forest's health as the living canopy above. Our leaf is now the newest member of this crucial world. The first and most immediate role of this new community is insulation. This is our 74th truth. This thick blanket of leaves traps air in countless tiny pockets, creating a remarkably effective insulating layer over the soil. It shields the ground from the coming winter's deep frost, protecting the delicate roots of the trees and the dormant organisms that live below. In the summer, it will do the opposite, keeping the soil cool and moist beneath the sun's heat. This blanket is also a sponge, which is our 75th fact. When the autumn rains come, the leaf litter absorbs a tremendous amount of water, holding it and releasing it slowly into the soil below. It prevents the water from simply running off the surface, ensuring that the forest has a deep reservoir of moisture to draw upon during drier times. Our single leaf, now part of this collective, will help to hold the rain. And in holding the rain, the leaf litter serves another vital purpose, our 76th truth. It prevents erosion. The force of a falling raindrop can be surprisingly powerful, capable of dislodging soil particles and washing them away. But the leaf litter layer acts as a protective shield, absorbing the impact of each drop and holding the precious topsoil firmly in place against the forces of both water and wind. This layer is not uniform. It is a world with its own geology, its own strata. Our 77th fact is that the leaf litter is organized into distinct layers, each representing a different stage of a slow and patient transformation. As you move downward through this layer, you are, in effect, traveling forward in time, seeing the future fate of our newly fallen leaf. Our crimson maple leaf has landed on the very top layer. This is the litter layer, our 78th fact. Here, the leaves are fresh, mostly whole, and their original shapes and colors are still recognizable. You can still see the crimson edges of our maple, the serrated brown of a nearby oak leaf, the long, thin shape of a willow. It is a mosaic of the season just past. Beneath this fresh layer lies a different world. This is our 79th truth. It is a place where the leaves are fragmented, matted together, and the work of decomposition has clearly begun. This is sometimes called the fermentation layer. Here, the individual leaves have started to lose their identity, broken down into smaller pieces and woven together by the fine, thread-like filaments of fungi. The vibrant colors have faded to a uniform, earthy brown. Go deeper still, and you reach the final stage of the transformation, our 80th fact. At the bottom of the duff, resting directly on the mineral soil, is a layer of dark, rich, crumbly material that no longer resembles leaves at all. This is humus. It is the final product of decomposition, a stable and vital component of healthy soil, rich in the organic matter that will fuel new life. Our leaf has just arrived at the beginning of this journey, a journey that will end with it becoming this dark and life-giving earth. It has settled in, its long fall complete, ready for the great recycling to begin. The arrival is complete. Our maple leaf now rests atop the forest floor, and its purpose begins a profound shift. This is our 81st truth. The leaf is no longer a producer of energy, but a source of it. Its stored sunlight, locked away in complex molecules, is now a feast, a banquet laid out for a hidden world of organisms dedicated to the sacred art of recycling. The great process of decomposition begins. The first to the feast are the passengers the leaf carried on its journey. Our 82nd fact is that the microorganisms from the phyllosphere, the bacteria and fungi that lived on its surface, are the initial agents of change. Now, in the damp, protected environment of the leaf litter, their populations explode. They are the primary decomposers, the true alchemists of the forest floor.
The fungi, in particular, are masters of this process. This is our 83rd truth. They are uniquely equipped with powerful enzymes that can break down the toughest materials in the leaf, the complex and resilient polymers of cellulose and lignin that other organisms can't digest.
They send out incredibly fine threads, called hyphae, which weave their way into every microscopic crevice of the leaf, dissolving and absorbing its nutrients. These fungal threads, the hyphae, are part of a much larger, interconnected network. Our 84th fact is that these threads form a vast underground web called a mycelial network. This network can stretch for miles, connecting different trees and plants, acting as a kind of underground internet for the forest. A single fungus in Oregon, for instance, covers over 2,000 acres and is considered one of the largest living organisms on Earth. Our leaf is now being integrated into this immense, ancient consciousness of the forest. Working alongside the fungi are the bacteria. This is our 85th fact. They specialize in breaking down the simpler, more accessible compounds within the leaf. As they work, they excrete a sticky substance that helps to bind tiny particles of soil together, creating a healthy, crumbly soil structure. Trillions of these invisible helpers are now at work on our single leaf. Soon, a larger group of recyclers arrives. Our 86th truth introduces the detritivores, the animals that feed on dead organic material. These are the shredders. Creatures like millipedes, with their many legs, and small crustaceans called woodlice begin to chew and tear the leaf, breaking it down into much smaller physical pieces. They are not digesting it completely, but preparing it, creating more surface area for the fungi and bacteria to do their work. And then comes the great engineer of the soil, the subject of our 87th fact, the earthworm. An earthworm may pull a piece of our leaf down into its burrow, mixing it with the mineral soil. As it passes through the worm's digestive system, it is ground up and mixed with enzymes, emerging as a nutrient-rich casting. This process, called bioturbation, is crucial for aerating the soil and mixing its organic and mineral layers. The variety of this cleanup crew is astonishing. Our 88th fact is that a single square yard of healthy forest soil can be home to thousands of species and billions of individual creatures. This includes tiny insects called springtails, which leap through the soil with a special appendage, as well as mites, nematodes, and countless other microscopic beings. It is one of the most biodiverse habitats on the entire planet. This process of decomposition is a slow, patient, and gentle release. It is not a rotting, but a transformation. Our 89th fact is that the rate of this process depends on conditions. In a warm, wet forest, a leaf might decompose completely in under a year. In a cold, dry climate, it could take many years for the same transformation to occur. The forest works at its own unhurried pace. And so, for our 90th fact, imagine our crimson leaf, now damp with dew, lying on the forest floor. It is slowly, gently being unmade. Its intricate structure is being simplified. Its complex molecules are being broken down. It is being consumed and integrated, its essence passing into the bodies of a billion tiny creatures. It is not an end. It is a transfer of life, a quiet and orderly donation to the endless, hungry, and beautiful cycle of the forest. Feel this sense of gentle transformation, this release of energy, as you too are transformed by rest. The physical form of our leaf is almost gone. It has been shredded, consumed, and chemically dismantled by the tireless community of the soil. What remains is entering the final and most profound stage of its journey. Our 91st fact is that the leaf is now returning its most fundamental elements to the universe, starting with the soil right here at its feet. The nutrients that the tree so carefully reclaimed before the leaf fell, the nitrogen, the phosphorus, were only a portion of its wealth. The rest, our 92nd truth explains, is now being released by the decomposers directly into the soil. These essential minerals are now available to be taken up by the roots of its own parent tree, or perhaps a nearby sapling, or even a delicate forest wildflower. The leaf is now feeding the very ecosystem that created it. Its generosity continues.
But the most significant element the leaf has to give back is carbon. This is our 93rd fact. During its life, through the magic of photosynthesis, the leaf took carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and transformed it into the solid structures of its own body: the cellulose, the sugars, the proteins. It was a tiny, living vault of sequestered carbon. Now, as it decomposes, our 94th truth unfolds. This carbon follows two paths. Some of it is respired by the decomposers, the bacteria, fungi, and earthworms, and is released back into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide, completing a short and rapid cycle. It is the breath of the soil itself. But a significant portion of the carbon takes a much longer journey.
This is our 95th fact. It becomes bound up in the dark, stable molecules of humus. This is a form of carbon that is incredibly resilient, and it can remain locked in the soil for hundreds or even thousands of years. This process of storing carbon in the soil is one of the most important functions of a healthy forest. Our leaf is contributing to the planet's long-term memory. This brings us to the grander cosmic picture, our 96th truth. Our leaf has been a humble but vital participant in the global carbon cycle. This is the planet-wide system of capturing, storing, and releasing carbon, a cycle that connects the atmosphere, the oceans, the rocks, and all living things. It is the Earth's circulatory system, and our leaf was a single, beautiful blood cell within it. The atoms themselves tell the oldest stories. Our 97th fact is a reminder of where these elements came from. The carbon, the nitrogen, the oxygen atoms that made up our leaf were not created in the tree. They were forged billions of years ago in the hearts of dying stars. They have traveled across interstellar space, been part of nebulas, planets, and countless living beings before ever becoming a leaf. And now they are simply being released to continue that journey. So this is not an end. It is a rejoining. This is our 98th truth. The leaf is not vanishing. It is becoming everything else. Its carbon atoms might become part of a root tip. Its nitrogen might fuel the growth of a new leaf next spring. Its water molecules will evaporate and become part of a cloud. It is dispersing back into the universe from which it came. Our 99th fact is that this cycle is the definition of sustainability. In nature's economy, there is no waste. Every ending is a new beginning. Every fallen leaf is a promise of future growth. The forest floor is not a graveyard. It is a nursery, a pantry, and a foundation all at once. And so we arrive at our 100th and final fact. Our crimson maple leaf is no longer a leaf. It has become soil. It has become fungus. It has become bacteria. It has become the rich, dark, fragrant earth itself. It has finished its personal story and has rejoined the larger, universal narrative. It has returned its borrowed atoms to the great cosmic library, ready to be checked out again to tell a new story, perhaps as part of a soaring bird, a burrowing animal, or you or me. It has returned, in a very real sense, to the stars. And now, my friend, our journey following this single leaf is complete. We have traveled with it from its high branch, through the crisp autumn air, and down to the quiet, teeming world of the forest floor. We have witnessed its silent farewell, its brilliant flash of color, its graceful spinning dance. We have seen it become a vessel for a microscopic world, a note in a forest symphony, and finally, a generous gift back to the earth. The story of the leaf is a story of a perfect and peaceful cycle. It is a story of letting go, not with sadness, but with a quiet trust in the process of the universe. It teaches us that every transformation is a continuation, that every ending is simply the start of a new form of being. The leaf holds on when it is time to hold on, and it lets go when it is time to let go. And in that release, it finds its way back to the whole. As you lie here now, ready for sleep, allow the gentle rhythm of this cycle to soothe you.
Your own body, your own mind, follows these same ancient patterns of activity and rest, of holding on and letting go. Sleep is your time of renewal. It is when you recycle the day's experiences, repair and restore your body, and prepare for the new light of a new morning. Let your breath be like the gentle fall of the leaf, slow, steady, and effortless. With each breath out, feel yourself letting go of the day, letting go of any thoughts, any worries. Just as the leaf surrendered to the air, you can surrender to the gentle pull of sleep. There is nothing else you need to do. You are safe, you are at peace, and you are deeply connected to the quiet, beautiful science that underpins our world. The same science that guides the journey of a falling leaf, and now guides you into a deep and restorative rest. The cycle continues, and now you can sleep. Sleep now. And now, my friend, our journey following this single leaf is complete. We have traveled with it from its high branch, through the crisp autumn air, and down to the quiet, teeming world of the forest floor. We have witnessed its silent farewell, its brilliant flash of color, its graceful spinning dance. We have seen it become a vessel for a microscopic world, a note in a forest symphony, and finally, a generous gift back to the earth. The story of the leaf is a story of a perfect and peaceful cycle. It is a story of letting go, not with sadness, but with a quiet trust in the process of the universe. It teaches us that every transformation is a continuation, that every ending is simply the start of a new form of being. The leaf holds on when it is time to hold on, and it lets go when it is time to let go. And in that release, it finds its way back to the whole. As you lie here now, ready for sleep, allow the gentle rhythm of this cycle to soothe you. Your own body, your own mind, follows these same ancient patterns of activity and rest, of holding on and letting go. Sleep is your time of renewal. It is when you recycle the day's experiences, repair and restore your body, and prepare for the new light of a new morning. Let your breath be like the gentle fall of the leaf, slow, steady, and effortless. With each breath out, feel yourself letting go of the day, letting go of any thoughts, any worries. Just as the leaf surrendered to the air, you can surrender to the gentle pull of sleep. There is nothing else you need to do. You are safe, you are at peace, and you are deeply connected to the quiet, beautiful science that underpins our world. The same science that guides the journey of a falling leaf, and now guides you into a deep and restorative rest. The cycle continues, and now you can sleep.
It teaches us that every transformation is a continuation, that every ending is simply the start of a new form of being. The leaf holds on when it is time to hold on, and it lets go when it is time to let go. And in that release, it finds its way back to the whole. As you lie here now, ready for sleep, allow the gentle rhythm of this cycle to soothe you. Your own body, your own mind, follows these same ancient patterns of activity and rest, of holding on and letting go. Sleep is your time of renewal. It is when you recycle the day's experiences, repair and restore your body, and prepare for the new light of a new morning. Let your awareness drift back now, gently, from the cool, damp earth of the forest floor. Bring with you the scent of rich soil and the feeling of profound quiet. Let the image of the leaf, now transformed, fade into a soft and peaceful memory. Its journey is done, its purpose fulfilled in the most beautiful way imaginable. It has not vanished, it has simply rejoined the grand cosmic flow. It has become one with the earth, its atoms now free to continue their own endless journey. Feel yourself returning to the stillness of your room. The story is over, but its peace remains with you. It settles over you like a soft blanket of newly fallen leaves. The 100 facts we explored were more than just information. They were 100 steps on a path to tranquility. 100 quiet truths that show us how the universe works in ways both simple and profound. Let us retrace that path for a moment.
not with our minds, but with a feeling of deep calm. Remember the beginning, the silent signal from a tilted planet, a message written in rays of diminishing light. A signal that spoke of the need for rest, for conservation, for preparing for a time of quiet. Your own body hears a similar signal at the end of each day. The fading light outside, the internal clock within you, all whisper the same gentle truth. It is time. Time to let the day go. Remember the breathtaking colors, the fading of the vibrant green, the unmasking of the brilliant yellows and oranges that were there all along, waiting patiently. Remember the final beautiful blush of crimson, a sweet and brilliant farewell. This was not a sign of decay, but a final act of beauty and generosity, a transformation of light and sugar into a spectacle of color. It reminds us that even in moments of transition, there is profound beauty to be found. Remember the feeling of letting go, the gentle dissolution of the cells at the base of the stem, not a violent tear, but a planned, peaceful release. Imagine that feeling of the final thread-like connection giving way, and the sudden, serene sensation of freedom, of weightlessness. This is the peace that comes from surrender, from trusting that it is safe to let go. Remember the graceful dance in the air, the perfect balance between the pull of the earth and the gentle cushion of the atmosphere. The slow, hypnotic spiral, turning and drifting on invisible currents. The journey was not a plummet, but a flight, a long and leisurely exploration of the space between the branch and the ground. It used the very forces acting upon it to make its journey one of elegance and grace. Remember the arrival, the soft whisper as it came to rest upon a welcoming bed of its peers, joining a community that insulates, protects, and nurtures the entire forest. It found its place, its purpose shifting from creation to contribution. It settled into the quiet darkness, its vibrant color giving way to the rich, dark tones of the earth. And remember the great recycling, the final transformation, the gentle unmaking by a billion tiny lives, each playing its part in the cycle. The release of nutrients, of carbon, of stardust back into the system from which it came. This was the leaf's ultimate act of connection, feeding the future, becoming the foundation for new life. It was not an end, but a homecoming, the ultimate return. This entire journey, from the branch to the soil, is a perfect metaphor for the journey you are on right now, as you drift towards sleep. Sleep is your own quiet nightly cycle of renewal. It is your time to let go of the day, to release the energy you've expended, and to allow your body and mind to be gently recycled and restored. The universe is built on cycles, on rhythms. The earth spins on its axis, giving us the steady, reliable rhythm of day and night. The moon orbits the earth, giving us the gentle rhythm of the tides. The earth orbits the sun, giving us the grand, sweeping rhythm of the seasons, the very rhythm that told our leaf when it was time to fall. Your own body is a universe of rhythms. Your heart beats in a steady, life-affirming pulse. Your lungs expand and contract, a quiet, continuous wave of breath. This rhythm of your breath is your anchor. It is as constant and as natural as the pull of gravity. As you lie here, simply notice this.
Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. The air entering, bringing calm. The air leaving, carrying away any remaining tension. In and out. A quiet, personal tide. You don't need to control it. You only need to rest in it, to trust its ancient, soothing pattern. Just as the leaf became part of a web of connections, you too are connected. Even here in the quiet of your room, you are not separate. You are breathing the same air that has circled the globe, that has risen from distant oceans and rustled the leaves of ancient forests. The atoms that make up your body were forged in the same stellar furnaces as the atoms of our leaf. You are, in the most literal sense, made of stardust. You are a part of the cosmos looking out at itself. You are held by the same gentle force of gravity that guided the leaf's descent. It is a constant, reassuring presence holding you securely, allowing you to feel heavy and safe. You can let go of every muscle because the earth is holding you. You can release all effort because you are supported completely. Feel this connection now, this sense of being held, of being part of something immense and peaceful. And sleep is your nightly transformation. It is the quiet alchemy that turns the fatigue of the day into the energy of tomorrow. While you rest, your mind is at work, sorting through the day's experiences, filing away memories, making new connections. Your body is repairing itself, healing and gathering strength. You are not simply shutting down. You are entering a state of profound and productive renewal. You are letting go so that you can become new again. So, let the journey of the leaf be your guide. Embody its wisdom. First, acknowledge the signal for rest. The day is done. The light has faded. Your work is complete. It is time. Give yourself permission to begin the process of letting go. Next, release the day with beauty. Let go of any lingering thoughts or worries, not with a struggle, but with a gentle acknowledgement, watching them drift away like the fading colors of the leaf. They are part of the day that is now past. You can release them. Now, feel that moment of detachment, that gentle release. Let go of the need to control. Let go of the need to think. Let go of the need to do anything at all. There is nothing you must do right now but rest. Allow your conscious mind to loosen its grip, just as the leaf loosened its connection to the branch. Trust the process. Trust that it is safe to float. Feel yourself drifting now on the slow, invisible currents of your own consciousness as you move from wakefulness towards sleep. It is not a fall, but a gentle descent, a slow, peaceful spiral into a state of deep calm. There is no need to rush. There is no destination to strive for. The journey itself is peaceful. The journey itself is rest. Allow your body to settle, to find its place, just as the leaf found its place on the forest floor. Feel the weight of your limbs, heavy and relaxed. Feel the softness of the surface beneath you, supporting you completely. You have arrived. You are home. You are in a place of safety and comfort. And now, allow the great recycling to begin. Allow the transformative power of sleep to wash over you, the gentle unmaking of the tired self, and the quiet creation of the rested self. Let your body do its wise and ancient work. Let your mind dream. Let your entire being be renewed. The forest is quiet now. The canopy is bare, a beautiful silhouette against the starlit sky. The ground is covered in a thick, protective blanket. It is a world at rest, a world in waiting. It is not an empty world, but a world full of potential, gathering its energy for the inevitable return of the light, for the certain promise of spring. Your mind can be this quiet now. Your thoughts can become like the bare branches, still and peaceful. Your body can be covered in a warm blanket of tranquility. You are entering your own quiet season of rest, a necessary and beautiful part of your own cycle. Let the final sounds you hear be the echoes of the forest, the gentle whisper of the wind in the bare branches, the deep, muffled silence of the leaf-strewn ground. Let these be the sounds of your own descent into deep, peaceful sleep. The journey is over. The cycle continues. It is time to rest. Let your breath be your only focus, a gentle wave, in and out. Feel the heaviness in your arms and legs, a pleasant, warm weight. Feel your eyelids, heavy and closed. You are drifting, floating, like a single, perfect leaf on a long, slow, peaceful journey down into a deep and comfortable and restorative sleep. The universe is taking care of everything. All you need to do is rest. Rest now. Let go. Sleep. Sleep.